Greetings, YouTubers. Welcome to the world of Nintendo. Penguin here again, coming to you with another interesting piece of Nintendo test equipment. But first, we'll look at this new baby. This is my brand new World of Nintendo sign, who I picked up from Mr. Mark on the Nintendo Age forums. And this is by far the coolest World of Nintendo sign I've ever seen, and the one I've always wanted. It's going to be hanging from my game room when I get into my new apartment very soon. So I'm pretty stoked about that. But it's got a gold World of Nintendo on it and then picture of the world. It's two-sided and it has little hang tabs in the top, which is pretty sweet. Can't wait to get it up there. But let's get to the piece of Nintendo test equipment. This is one of the more interesting pieces of test equipment. This is actually for the Super Nintendo, the Super NES, also the Super Famicom. This is the control deck tester. So you can take a little closer look at it there. It's very strange. It kind of reminds me of a Sega 32X. Just the way it looks, because it goes on top of the system like this. And then these things plug into the controller ports to control it. There's two video buttons, a video and a clock. And this will go through the different kind of video connections, S-video, multi-out, RGB. And then these are the next and back buttons. So that's to scroll through the testing programs on it. You can see right there, it's a Nintendo World Class Service official product from 1991. Super NES Control Deck Tester. This looks like one of the earlier version ones from 1991. They made a second version of this, I know, which I believe is a little different looking. Which is kind of interesting. It says Nintendo Super Famicom on the top also. It has some video outputs on the back for the multi-out, which is the standard cable that is used on the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, and the GameCube. Then it has left and right audio, and then a yellow video one, and then a clock out, which is actually an RF output. But let's take a look at this thing, plug it in, and see how it actually works. Alright, well here you can see I have the control deck tester all hooked up to the Super Nintendo on top of the Super Nintendo test station. So it is quite the beast when it's all hooked up. But let's turn this baby on and see how it looks. As you can see, it's going to start by doing a few self-tests. It checks the working RAM and whatnot. Then you got to push the next button to go on to the next test. Does another little sound test just like on the Super NES test cartridge that I have, the burn-in one. And now more video tests and whatnot. It's kind of interesting, you got Dr. Mario on there, Bullet Bill. Then we go on to the next part. Pretty trippy video, just like on the other one. There you got some of Super Mario World. What the hell? What the hell is this? Why is there some ugly chick with half of her hair cut off on a test cartridge? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You know, I really wonder who this even is. Man, that is weird. Yes, please press next. Get out of that thing. There's of course the box art from Super Mario Bros. 3 from the Famicom edition. And this is the same song that's played on the Super Nintendo burn-in test cartridge. Graphics are a little bit different on some of the things like that. And then it tells you to press reset. And that's the end of the test. Copyright 1991 Nintendo. As you can see, it's very, very similar to the Super Nintendo burn-in test cartridge. It does about the same things. Also, there's another thing that I didn't show you before. On the back here, if you want to use the video outputs here, there's a special two-sided multi-out cable that plugs in to the back of the Super Nintendo onto here, and that's how you can use these different cables to test those. And then also you can use them in conjunction with the Super Nintendo test station here. You can plug in, the multi-output will plug into the back here, and that'll plug into the back of the Super Nintendo, and then you can hook in your multi-out and your RF video out and your power adapter into here to test those. But pretty cool piece. Stay tuned next time, and we'll be taking a look at another piece of test equipment, hopefully soon. This has been Penguin for Penguin Nintendo Age, signing off.